Okay, class 10. Now today we are going to learn the chapter Statistics, chapter number 14. In statistics, we'll learn number 1 is measure of central tendency. Measure of central tendency. Measure of central tendency. And next one is OSI. In class 9, we have learned the classification of group and raw data. We also have learned the graph of the given data like bar graph, frequency polygon, histogram. So in class 10, we will learn the measure of central tendency and the OSI. OSI is the graph of the given data. Now first we will discuss about measure of central tendency. Measure of central tendency. In measure of central tendency calculate in 3 ways. It is mean, number 2 median, and number 3 is mode. So these are the part of measure of central tendency. So first we will learn about mean. How to calculate mean of group data. So mean, what is mean? Mean is the average value of given data. So mean is represented by X bar. So mean can be calculated in 3 methods. Number 1 is direct method. Number 2 is assume mean method. Number 3 is step deviation method. First, we will discuss about direct method. So what is direct method? In direct method, in direct method, class interval and frequencies are given. First we have to make the direct method table for calculating the mean by using direct method. So first we will write class interval. Now frequency, it is Fi, frequency of the interval. After that we will calculate Xi. What is Xi? Now last column will be Fi Xi. In direct method there are 4 columns. First column is class interval, second column is frequencies of interval, third column is mid value of the interval, and last column is product of mid values and the frequencies. So in class interval, the interval is like this, lower limit to upper limit. frequencies. And what is this xi? So first we will calculate xi. Xi is mid value. Mid value of interval. So xi can be calculated as lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. We will get xi. So xi is given. First we have to calculate xi. Fi is given. First we will calculate xi. After that we have to multiply fi with xi. So this is mid value. Then we will calculate, after getting xi, we will calculate fi xi. We will multiply fi into xi, we will get fi xi. So in last there is a sum of fi. Sum of fi. We have to calculate the sum of frequencies of interval. At last, here also we have to calculate the summation of fi xi. After that, we will be able to calculate mean. Therefore, mean x bar equals to summation fi xi divided by summation fi. Now it is the formula of mean by direct method. It is the direct method formula. Now when we use or when we apply the direct method, if the intervals are start from 0, if the intervals are start from 0, that means if the starting interval, so starting interval, in starting interval the lower limit is 0, then we will apply the direct method formula to calculate mean. Then we will apply the direct method formula for calculating mean. Now this is the case of direct method. Now move to next method, assume mean method. Number 2 method is assume mean method. In this case, class interval and frequencies are given. First, we will make the table for assume mean method. So table for assume mean method. First we will write class interval, then frequencies of the interval, after that xi, then after di, and last one is fi di. In direct method there are 4 columns, but in assume mean method there are how many columns? 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the columns used in assume mean method. At last, we'll calculate here summation fi, that means sum of frequencies. Here at last we calculate fi di, means summation, sum of the product of frequencies and the deviation. Di is the deviation. So what is di? So first we will calculate di. Di is xi minus a. What is a? So a is assumed mean. Assumed mean. Now formula for the assumed mean method: mean x bar equals to a plus summation fi di divided by summation fi. This is the formula of mean by assumed mean method. So a is assumed from the middle of these values. Suppose in class interval there are 5 values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 intervals. We will select from the third, that is A. If the class interval have 6, there are 6 class interval. Now in this case we can select either third interval or fourth interval. If class intervals, there are 5 class intervals, we can directly select assumed mean from third interval. But for the 6th interval, we can select either from third interval or from fourth interval. So that is A. Now last one is step deviation method. In assumed mean method there are 5 columns. For direct method the table A will be 4 columns. Now last one is step deviation method. Step deviation method. In step deviation method, class interval and frequencies are given. First we have to make the frequency table for step deviation method. Now first we will write class interval, after that frequency of the interval, after that xi, then di is xi minus a, then ui is the step deviation, ui equals to di by h, and last one is fi ui. In step deviation method the number of columns are 6 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 columns in step deviation method. In this table, first we have to sum up summation fi, summation fi ui. We know that d is the deviation and ui is the step deviation. Now what is h? H is class size. Now class size obtained from the class interval. So formula of class size is upper limit minus lower limit minus lower limit. For calculating mean, now we will find out A from here, mean value. So mean x bar by using step deviation method equals to A plus summation fi ui by summation fi into h. Now this is the formula of mean by using step deviation method. Okay. There are three methods for direct method. Direct method, mean x bar equals to summation fi xi by summation fi. Number one. Number two, assume mean method. Mean x bar equals to A plus summation fi di divided by summation fi. And last one is step deviation method. Step deviation method, mean x bar equals to A plus summation fi ui divided by summation fi into h. So these are the formula for calculating mean. Okay, this was for today. Thank you.